Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will learn how to store and display data using shared preference. So from this video, we will be starting our Android Kotlin Advanced Series where we'll be going to cover topics like MVVM, Room Database, API, Retrofit and many more. All of these topics are kind of tricky, but don't worry, we will learn each topic with the help of project. Now come to today's video where we will understand what is shared preference. Also, just a little note that in 2023, developers prefer data store rather than shared preference, which we will cover in Jetpack Compose series. Now what is shared preference? Let's understand with a simple example. Imagine you have a small notebook like a diary in your Android phone where you can jot down some notes that you want to remember later. These notes could be things like your favorite color, a game level you reached, or whether you want the app to show music or not. Shared preference in Android is like that little notebook. It's a way for apps to store and remember small pieces of information that they can use later. Just like you open your diary to see what you wrote, app can open shared preference to see what settings or values you have saved. It's handy because even if you close the app or turn off your phone, the information you wrote down in shared preference will still be there. It's like your app's own private memory, where it can store simple things you want it to remember, even when you're not using the app. Got it? Now let's create it. Choose empty views activity. Then write the name as Learn Shared Preference. And click on Finish. Let me give you a quick overview of what exactly we are going to create. So it's a very simple notes project where the user will write a note in edit text, and by clicking on Save button, it will store the note in Share Preference. And then when the user will click on Display Note button, it will display the exact note in the text view. Simple, right? You can further modify the project by maybe adding a recycler view to display multiple notes. It's all up to you. Here I'm just going to give you a basic idea of how shared preference works. So first, let's do the prerequisite. So go to colors.xml, add the red color whose hex code is FF3131 and done. Then go to themes.xml. Here mention all the three parameters: color primary variant, and Android status bar color. And done. Next, go to Gradle build. Here I will write build features, and then inside it write view binding as true. Now click on sync now and done. Then let me quickly add a background just to make the project look more presentable. You can skip this drawable step if you want to. And done. Now prerequisites are done. So go to activity.main.xml. Here I will create an edit text with a save button, and below that a display note button with a text view where the note will be displayed. And that's it. Let me quickly write the code. And done. You can pause the video and copy the layout code, okay? Now see, we have kept parent as relative layout. Then inside it two linear layout, and then inside it an edit text whose ID is notes edit text, and a button whose ID is Save Note button. Then outside a linear layout, there is a button whose ID Display Note button, and a text view whose ID is Note text view. And that's it. This is how it looks. Now go to main activity. Let me give you a quick overview what exactly we are going to do. So we will initialize share preference with a name Then inside the Save Note button, we will store the data using share preference methods. And then lastly, inside the Display Note button, we will retrieve the data and display it on text view. And that's it. So first, let me quickly set a binding. And then declare share preference. And done. Now I will initialize it as share preference is equal to get share preference. This is very important method to store name of the share preference and its mode. So inside it I will write node data as a share preference name and then context mode as private. This is a way to specify the access mode for your share preference. In this case, you are using mode private, which means only your app can access this share preference. Got it? Then we need to store data when the user will click on Save Note button, right? So for that, I'll write binding dot save note button dot set on click listener. And then inside it, first we will take the input from user through edit text. So let me quickly write it. And done. So whatever the text user will write in notes edit text will be stored in the note variable. Then remember in SQLite database we used to define access mode for database like writable database or readable database. Likewise we need to specify here as well. So I'll write shared edit as share preference dot edit. Means the preference can be modified or edited. Now write dot put string. So put string is a method to store share preference using a key. So I'll write key as note. This is the key you are giving to the piece of information you are storing, that is note, through edit text. And this note is an actual content that you need to store. Then finalize everything by using apply method. And then I'll throw a toast as note stored successfully. Lastly, once the note is stored, you can wipe off the edit text using clear method. Simple, right? Now, when the display note button will be clicked, then it will retrieve the note and display it on text view. So to do that, first write binding dot display note button dot set on click listener on it. And then inside it, I'll retrieve the data first. So write stored note is equal to shared preference dot get string. See, to store the data we have used put string method, and to retrieve the data we have used get string method. Got it? Then inside it, write the exact key, that is note. And then I'll keep the value as null, which means it will act as a default value that will be written if there is no value associated with the key note. And then the data will be stored in the stored note variable. Then lastly, display the note. So I'll write binding dot note text view dot text is equal to mention the stored note variable where the actual note is retrieved and stored. And that's it. We are done with the coding. Now let's run the app. See, this is how it looks. I'll quickly write here some note. And now I'll click on Save Note. And see, the toast says as note stored successfully. Now I'll click on Display Note. And look, the note is displayed here. Perfect. Also, let me quickly show you where exactly Share Preferences saved. So go to Device Explorer while the device is in running mode. Then go to Data, and then again Data, and then inside it find your project's package name. Here it is. Click on it, then go to Share Preference folder, and here you will see a share preference name, that is Node Data. I'll click on it and see it's an XML file where the exact note is stored using map attribute. And that's it. You can follow us on Instagram or join our Telegram group for more updates. Link in the description box. So yeah, that is it for the video. If you are new to this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.